All right, so we're 3 out of 5, so we're calling that a quorum. I'll entertain a motion to call to order.
I think you just call it to order.
Oh,
And
that's
then-
called to order?
Then
All
you
right.
call it to order, and then you do the
Fantastic.
public comment and then the minute.
Is there anyone with public comment?
Has to be in person. Anyone in the room have any public comment? No?
Hi, Kat.
No.
Not for public comment. All right, is there a motion to approve the minutes from last month? March 11th, 2024.
You want a motion? Okay.
Donna?
Yep.
Would you like a second?
Sure, second.
I can't, and there's only the 3 of us. All right, okay, we're calling that new business. Art in City Hall. I don't have an update. The person that I was gonna put into the display case was sick for over 2 weeks. And so I should be back on that as of today. I probably am slacking for have not had that conversation today. The person that I want to talk to about putting stuff on the walls is happily sitting next to me, so.
Oh, you're on?
So I was gonna, and I hopefully hope, so I definitely have fallen down in the city hall decorating category. Hopefully you'll understand why after we get to some of my other categories. It's been a busy month.
I just noticed that it wasn't up on the walls
Yeah,
anymore.
yeah, Rebecca's, her stuff is back at home, and then it's time to.
Why didn't you fill out 2 walls, just one?
I will walk you through it after this meeting if you're willing, yeah, and because we're gonna hang your stuff and cross train you on how to hang stuff.
This sculpture here too, we had that cleaned. That I had gotten a quote from Art Tech and it was a lot of money, and our good old facilities team, Ken and Kevin, came in and cleaned it, and it all the way to the tippy top.
Is
Now
it
you
a
can't see it's on it, but what was that?
Is it lights?
There is lights in there, but it's glass, but it had been a while. It was quite dusty, so we have to take care of the art that we own.
Yeah, yeah,
Ooh,
Yeah.
yeah.
That sounds good.
Did it get dusty in 2 weeks?
No, I just noticed that the one is mounted offset. I never realized that before. Yeah, I guess it's clean so I can see it better.
Yeah, Donna, what?
I have a Chihuly chandelier in my living room and it's multiple pieces and can be challenging to clean, but I found a product that you literally spray on. You have a cloth underneath it, you spray it, it drips out, it cleans it spotless.
Oh my gosh.
You just need to be on a ladder and just spray. And I just make sure I have towels underneath it.
Oh, wow. I wish I would have, next time.
I was gonna say,
They took that all off, and then, except for the tippy top, they got up in there with the ladder, but they took them all off and hung them on ladders and then washed them individually.
like literally, if you ever saw the thing, it's probably 60 glass pieces all strung into a chandelier type of thing. And yeah, I just spray it and it drips in an hour, it's dry and it's spotless. Like literally, it's called Sparkles something or other, and it's for glass type light fixtures.
Okay, good to know. Okay, cool.
All right, next topic is plein air paint out update. Do you have Donna? I'm pointing to, like you can see me point to you.
I can see you, actually. You are on camera.
My arm is very long.
Yeah.
You can see where I was going.
Yeah, materials went over to Nicole. So Nicole, you have them. You gave us the media one that I believe Nicole Hansen is going to get into the Pacific Northwest plein air artists or something like that. She has the connections to a couple of Facebook pages and stuff like that. You also have the day of the event flyer which I attempted to put a map together. So your team can do the magic that they do, Nicole.
Yeah,
Of
that's,
how you format it and make it look nice and all of that.
yeah,
So-
that's been on my to-do list to get to the designer. I will do that.
And you also have the info for the postcard.
Yes, so, yeah, I sent you those graphics. The city did a press release. I think it's on the website. And then the art gallery last week had an event and I took some flyers or postcards down there, but yeah,
Oh, cool.
time to start, I've had no RSVPs yet, so,
Okay. Well, the
uh,
QR code is on the media. Whatever that thing is.
the press release.
Thank you. The QR code. So is that website all set up?
Yeah, they just have to email me.
Okay.
And then I did email like all the artists that have participated since 2015. I might not have done you, I don't remember, but you're
Yes,
my
you
face right
did.
now.
So we're actually way ahead of schedule based upon what we did last year, because last year we really were behind schedule. We really didn't get even the postcard out until it was like in June. So I'm grateful to see that we're a bit more on schedule, because our plan was all along to have notifications going out in March, notifying people of the event and things like that. And I think a success factor on that was picking the date last year. It was just like last year we were sitting there and I was like, let's just do July 20th. Okay, we're doing it, done.
Yeah.
So
I reached out to For Culture to see, we often get grants from them, and I reached out to see if they would approve for the plein air, and if they do, then I can offset some of the funding, and then maybe I could pay to have some advertising.
Oh, cool.
That might, help that, so more to come on that.
Other than that, the event's pretty turnkey. I mean, we have all the supplies from last year. I mean, there's a couple of items we have to pick up, and I have all of the former materials, because I created them last year with the stickers and judge sheets and so on. But I think we're ready, we're rocking and rolling. Yep.
Such a cool event.
So our goal is to be, I think our biggest one was 25 people. We really want to beat that metric,
Okay.
having more. So that's our goal. We'll see what happens.
What time do you have to go to the round table?
6.
Yeah, okay.
I'll try and be discreet, which means I'll trip over the threshold going.
I mean, we definitely set up traps with work ethics.
I didn't know if you had a report or anything, if you wanted to say anything before 6.
The only thing if I can just interject, is we had the Snoqualmie Days committee meeting this morning,
Yeah.
and I know you're coordinating, Steve, aren't you leading the Art Off the Rails?
Mhm.
Cause I brought it up to Richard, I said, oh, cause it was like, okay, I was wearing the Arts Commission, the Fire Department and Council hat. And so I was trying to remember to give all things, I says, oh, and on the Arts Commission, the next event is gonna be the Art Off the Rails at the train depots. And like Richard has this like blank look on his face. And Emily pipes in, she says, we have other staff members working on that. Because the guy was like, Richard, don't tell me you don't know about this.
Yeah, well, so, and yeah, we're working with Casey on that.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so then, yeah, and that'll be part of, so.
But my question is, I did bring up, as far as I know, you folks are not doing anything else over Snoqualmie Days. We're just gonna do the chalk the block up at the fire station.
Last I'd heard, that was all we were doing, unless we did like a painted elk selfie board or something.
For downtown or something like that. Okay, so that was all I told them. I says,
Okay.
that's all we're planning to do, and
Yeah.
and so if something changes, we'll be in touch.
Okay.
May I ask what date is Snoqualmie Days?
August 17th, Saturday. Oh, and Friday night is the music crawl.
Will you have the fire explorers kind of babysitting that, if anything, at the chocolate block Shop the Block, or will you need
Explore.
volunteers at the pancake breakfast?
No, I think we'll be able to,
I can come down and help again.
it's
Okay.
with, we did it with just the volunteers that were working the event.
Okay.
And, or had their little bit older kids kind of chaperone.
Okay,
Cause it's right in the middle of all the tables for breakfast and stuff.
will you do it as you're going in, or will you do it like on the way as you're going out to the
It's the-
parkway?
No, it's gonna be at the back doors of the host tower.
Oh, okay,
So in that area, we actually put more seating for breakfast outside
okay,
pending, I mean, cause it's, okay, I'm gonna jinx it by saying it's always nice on that weekend.
mhm,
And so we just do it outside on the tarmac right there,
okay,
right by the porta potty.
okay,
It's very
lovely, yeah.
scenic.
Okay, cool.
But thanks, Donna. I'll let you know if we're running short. I'll shoot.
Well, I feel like the commissioner should be there, but I mean, if you're feeling like, no, you got it, then that's fine.
Play by ear,
Play by ear.
okay,
I might come down or next time someone's in the storeroom, just check how much, because I feel like we had like 3 or 4 buckets of the
we
chocolate.
do, mhm.
Plus I have at home, I have some already bagged up, some brand new chalk in little Ziplocs,
Okay,
like for giveaway type of stuff, so.
okay,
That's right. That was so nice. The little kids really like that.
All right, that was the only question I had.
Moving on to Art Off the Rails, so it's been the bulk of my time. We were doing multiple meetings a week for the group and then the specialized sections of it. Top level things, we've been circulating information on social media across Arts Commission page, North Bend Arts and Industries, Historic Downtown Snoqualmie, Railroad Museum, getting, save the dates, that sort of thing. We have the first draft of the flyers have been made, which will evolve as we go, so that as we get sponsorships lined up and things like that, as bands are named, that sort of thing, for specific uses. We're gonna be in the next copy next month's issue of 425 magazine. For the Art Off the Rail stuff, just standard boilerplate stuff of, that it could be an event and this is the second year and what the purpose is of the of doing the event, kind of filling the gap from the art portion of Railroad Days.
is that the advertising that I had purchased, or did you guys do a different one?
That was not purchased, that was 425 coming and asking to do it.
Oh, okay.
That was via North Bend A and I, that's not,
okay.
I don't think that's.
Okay, because I had purchased one for September and was able to move it, so I think there's a paid one going into 425.
Oh, cool,
Yeah.
cool, okay, excellent.
What's the date again? Which weekend in June?
June 15th.
15th.
Right in the center, so yeah, so 2 weeks from tax day, or 2 months from tax day, and then we have I filled out a webpage that is a central hub for Art Off the Rails that should go live this week. I should have gotten that this weekend, but life. But that all that's gonna do is point to each of the different, so this is the stuff happening in North Bend, this is the stuff happening in Snoqualmie, this is the stuff happening at the shed. So it's really just a landing page with redirections. And then we are just tying up a grant application through the Washington State Tourism Board for, they have a grant that is specifically for germination of community events that are within their first 3 years, and we are exactly perfectly in that because we're working towards year 2 of what would be a 3-year set. And so that'll go in so that there will be some funding to use upfront for the expenses that come up along the way, as opposed to being we were pretty dependent on the city of Snoqualmie this last year. And so going forward, we want to be a little bit more self-sufficient so that each of the organizations that have to spend money to make the thing happen aren't dipping into their own funds, that it's coming from the footprint. So that is due a week from today. It should go
Are
in.
you writing the grant?
I'm co-writing the grant.
With, okay, I didn't know if you were using city personnel or.
No, that is being driven specifically through the 501(c)(3)s. We've got 3 nonprofits that are driving that, and they're the title holders for that bit of it. So that should go live. There's one piece of information that I have to finish pulling some teeth. That should be hopefully done in the next day or two. And then we've got one of the band leaders was out of town last week, so I should hear back hopefully. I was hoping today, but I'll go chase him down tomorrow, and then the music will be locked down for the Snoqualmie side. Should be fun.
Are the pontoons playing again?
The Pontoons are gonna be the second band, and so there should be 2 live bands, and then in between, Tim Birch, who's a guy who came to the wine walks a lot, he's the one with the cool like Irish guitar, so he'll come and play.
Oh, cool.
At the other end, we're gonna set it up, set him up as he'll be the log jam.
I have a question.
Yes, absolutely.
2 questions. So how much grant that you apply for?
The total is still shifting because we're getting feedback from the railroad side, but it'll be in the neighborhood of between 12 and 15,000.
Okay, and then if we, so when we sponsor this event, it's of our commission, you say that independent self-sufficient.
So
which.
we are incubating, right? Like that's the Arts Commission's job, is to get things up and going, and then ultimately you want there to be, committees that run.
So which community that running? I know it's a railroad museum.
So Railroad Museum, Historic Downtown Snoqualmie, and North Bend Arts and Industries.
Okay, those 3 community.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Those are the 501.
Yeah, and then you guys are part of that. But if you're thinking about the art gallery, they're part of this work.
Yeah, you guys send a representative to every meeting.
Yeah.
Every month. It's usually CC
Which is CC, but I.
or Min.
Yeah, they.
Oh, I should say I presented to that group on
they
Thursday.
sound
This
I knew I saw you somewhere.
Yes. Yes, we almost had a quorum of
Yes, we now have to,
council people.
I put it on the books with Gina, because we got a little nasty gram that that she puts it on as potential quorum if Ethan's gonna start coming to those meetings. Because before it was either like Rob or myself, and I was like, wait, did I miss a memo somewhere? So,
Yeah, that was in him, yes, one more if one more had come in there, and then someone would have had to have gone.
so she's gonna put it out.
And then we won't have to do that.
Yeah,
You said that in
it'll
touch
always
with-
be on the schedule as potential.
We want to apply.
So we've set the save the date, the go live for the website is as soon as I can get it linked up and submitted to
Okay, so
To
I have not
Squarespace.
set up yet.
but you'll see it. You'll see it.
Okay.
All right, any more questions for Art Off the Rails?
Is it a
Okay,
fee we have to pay?
there is a $25 fee.
Okay,
For
for the boots,
the booth, if you're gonna be a vendor.
Oh, okay.
For that art.
what about the gallery?
So
This-
we'll talk, if you're just showing and not selling, we'll talk,
Okay,
but. Okay, Creative Arts District is next on the agenda. So I'll say the parts that I know. So Nicole and I attended the same presentation that was presented to us last month was presented to the EDC. Lots of interesting conversation around it. We did learn in that conversation that they've taken all the applications they're gonna take for this year. which is fine, because I don't think we were gonna get that application done this year.
There was
It's a lot.
confusion, or they alluded to something about 2025 as well.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
we'll.
I was
we
unclear
can
about
look into
that
it.
statement, but yeah,
And then the other aspect of that, so I've been doing a lot of research on that space. I don't have data in a presentable format, but we do have. We pulled out all of the standard occupational classification codes that are applicable, and this is the nerdiest stuff, and the creative industries by the NAICS, the classification codes, 2016 edition, and then we've been cross-referencing them with business occupation types that exist in the city of Snoqualmie, according to the search mechanism that was provided by the city council, so.
Is it still an issue about the geographical?
No, we can push right past that.
Okay,
That's not a problem. It's more of an issue of. If we're gonna have this complicated of a dance, we have to learn a lot of steps. We have to be able to integrate well with the Chamber of Commerce, the school district, the city. The merchants associations, there's, you know, a whole great big list that we have to get people into, you know, into the right mindset and participatory and
Right.
whatnot. So that's gonna be, I mean, and that's probably more actually in Nicole's space. But I did have a meeting, because I had an opportunity to, so I did sit down with the Chamber of Commerce last week. Not about the Chamber of Commerce per se, but about the destination, the
DMO.
DMO,
Destination
destination,
Organization.
yeah, so, which is basically a tourism grant organization. And just to make sure that we've had just a stepping stone conversation that, hey, you exist, hey, we exist. These are the things that are on the top line, and it was actually a really constructive conversation. And that's, I'm typing up kind of a summary of that for you, Nicole, because I think it'll help us out a lot. It's an in-depth, this is grown up stuff, right? This is not.
Oh, that's
fun,
my
but
cue to
it's-
leave.
Well, I think the bottom line is, we couldn't do anything now, we're in the gathering stage, there has to be a group of stakeholders identified, there's chatter. The city is not gonna relinquish their role in this, you know, like. I don't know whether they're gonna be in the driver's seat or a passenger seat or in the car, that's a good car analogy, but there's definitely. We're still
Tied
gathering,
up in the trunk.
Yeah.
Sort of in the car seat. okay?
Yeah, yeah.
With the,
Yeah.
with the binky.
Yeah.
Yeah, so and that's really, I think, one of the factors about the creative arts district is that there's gonna have to be, ultimately, there's gonna have to be somebody with just personality and charisma to drive, just getting people excited and getting it on board. But I think that in the meantime, nerds like me can go and do the math and try to figure out, you know, exactly how many people we're talking about, how many businesses are affected, how many occupational, you know, how many occupations are impacted. What the ratios look like, but in the meantime, we do know that there are some core tenets that are important between all of these efforts, all these potential efforts, right? So whether it be Main Street or DMO or you know, Creative Arts District, we do know that there's some of the first things that we need to address regionally are around things like being able to have businesses be staffed sufficiently so that they don't get destroyed by large crowds. And volunteerism, right? We need to be able to regrow the volunteer ecosystem that still hasn't recovered organically from the 2020, from the lockdown. So
You can leave it open, that's fine.
thank you.
Yeah, we've definitely suffered since COVID, both volunteerism and workforce for businesses. It's been, we are one of the states that it's taken us longer to bounce back, just because we were pretty fiercely shut down and compared to other states. So it's just how are we coming out of it? You know, overall, as a city, as a business community, if not survived, in some ways we thrived, in some ways, you know, we had businesses that opened during COVID. And we lost a smattering, but overall, we came out of COVID good. It wasn't destructive, but there's still impacts of that we're still trying to come out of.
So are we gonna have like a new community with volunteers just to do this creative arts district?
Well, there would be, that's, I think, something that we might have to be doing this year too, is maybe having some sort of public meetings or different things, or inviting people together of different stakeholders, whether it's the school district, the chamber, merchants association, arts members. There's, to make this creative district move forward involves more than just the Snoqualmie Arts Commission.
Yeah.
So we have to define who those people are and what's the role. And some of it is just a letter of support. Some of it is, yes, we support this, but other people will be more, there's passive and active participation. So we have to define what that is.
And the ecosystem around volunteerism is gonna be, that's gonna be important for anything, for any of these organizations that, you know, so. That's, there's been some discussion about putting together basically a congress of volunteerism around, you know, bringing the organizations that need it and the people that are interested in being, you know, in being more volunteer focused into a space where there can be some presentations and conversations, maybe eat some pizza, cookies, something like that, and kind of get some energy going around it again. And that'll be Snoqualmie, but it'll really be Upper Valley, and that's kind of outside of the scope of this specific conversation, but is something that's being worked on. And also then for the Creative Arts District, Nicole, that's officially on your plate, right, for the city, right? Like you're
If
the
it's
person.
anyone's plate, it's probably mine. I don't mean that in a bad way, but you know, yeah, it
Yeah,
makes sense that it's mine.
If it has to be,
Yeah, no, yeah, I
yeah.
would definitely be the point person. I do have a
Yeah.
boss,
so as.
mayor who supports this
Yeah,
as
yeah,
well.
so, and that's really kind of the core, right, is that we need to make sure that the mayor is getting what is needed, in terms of these. Probes, investigations or whatever, so my offer for you is if you wanna talk, if you wanna assign anything to me, if you want me to not be so nosy, whatever is best for you, just let me know, and I'm happy to assist, cause it's, these things, because there's so many things happening simultaneously, right, there's a lot of hats being swapped around.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Cool,
Okay.
all right, was there any questions, did you have any work, do you have any other questions for that?
No, I just wonder how you started. You're gonna talk to the different community and get it started meetings and.
Yeah,
I just, I try to
No,
visualize.
I understand it. So I guess I'll use, instead of a car analogy, a pool analogy, right? Like we're starting in the kiddie pool, we're talking about it, we're bringing it to public meetings, to the Arts Commission, to the EDC, we're having these public conversations. We've gotten council and the mayor, like they're interested. So we know there's an interest level, so now we need to keep going more and more, but we will have to start to define those stakeholders, and there is work to be done, you know, and what does that work look like, and yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Thank you.
but it's at the same time, there's a lot of activity going on with different groups in the communication in the community, whether it's the Chamber of Commerce and their goals, or the Downtown Merchants is interested in pursuing information about a Main Street, you know, and all of these take resources, which are both people and money, and how do we all work together and swim in the pool together, or are we all of them can happen at the same time, they can all be in the same community, but how do people work together in the best way to make this happen?
And I think that's really kind of my biggest thing, like meeting with the chamber last week, it was all about making sure that we know that there's lots of people, we just wanna make sure we're all marching in the same direction. If we're, you know, that we're not, if there's any hope of not duplicating effort, if there's any hope of setting priorities that are clear, you know, and beneficial, right? Because there's, and there's a lot of, like, the Arts Commission is kind of restarting, right? Like, we've got we're not to full capacity for commissioners. EDC is kind of restarting, you know, just within the city. And then when you talk about things like the school board or the school district, right? So they're just bringing a new superintendent up to speed. There's still lots of kind of things up in the air around that.
Well, and it's looking ahead, because once you have this, let's say you get it, you get this designation, what do you have to do to maintain it? That's the thing. So I give an example of, we're a Tree City USA. It's designated by the Arbor Association. Yeah, you get a sign put up in your community and you got that. Same thing, Creative District, we'd have a sign on the freeway. But in order to maintain Tree City USA, you have to maintain tree canopies, you know, you also have to have an event every year honoring it. So we have to keep that, like, the work doesn't stop when we get the sign on the freeway. Like, how do we keep maintaining our credibility, our credentials, our status? And so we have to be able to understand what that is, which I think the Arts Commission, again, not having delved too deep into the Creative District, but I think just the activity and the programming that we do as an Arts Commission, or that you guys do as an Arts Commission, is gonna be part of the success of this.
Yeah, well, and that's really gonna be, I think that the biggest thing is, as we identify stakeholders, it's gonna be, what do we get if we win, right? Like, what does victory actually look like? Cause like you said, we can get the sign on the, but then we still need to start reaping the benefits, and what does the window look for that? There is also the aspect, just being aware politically, right? So right now, we are in an election year for parts of state and county things, and then next year we'll be in an election year for city people, you know, for city positions. And then, you know, so there's always there's gonna be different levels of intensity from different organizations for, you know, because right now we're getting weird pressure from weird places, not necessarily for the Arts Commission, but generally speaking from county and state officials, because they're very excited because they want to get elected in November. So there's a lot to track and be aware of, so.
So more to come.
Yeah, you've got your
Yeah.
hands full. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's a really interesting exercise, so. And then the next thing on our new business list is art classes.
May I ask a question? Sorry,
yeah.
I'm
Sorry.
still on the computer screen. Yeah, you guys have not looked over.
Well, sorry, I didn't hear you when I asked for questions.
Yeah, I tried to. So last month when you talked, there was a couple of other organizations that you were looking at beyond just the Creative Arts District. There was something about a highway, something cities that you
Yeah,
were.
so there's the Historic Downtown Snoqualmie is working on their Main Street accreditation.
Right, that was it.
And then there's the Destination Marketing Organization from the Chamber of Commerce. And so that's what I'm working on is making sure, and then there's a couple others that popped up that I have to like go learn about.
And if I remember correctly, you weren't landing on any one in particular, because you were like, there was positives and pros and cons with each one. Is it really like the Creative Arts District is the one that the community as a whole is going towards, or is that just you're still feeling it out?
Yeah, that's really,
it seemed like it was like there's all these particular designations that we could apply for. And what,
yeah, but it's that's a larger we. It's the Arts Commission only really has their finger in the Creative Arts District conversation. Like, that's really the only part that we specifically have interest in. But what I wanted to do is, so one of the prereqs for the Creative Arts District is to acknowledge the existence of these other entities that are either underway or will be underway, right? So we need to be able to have conversations with, you know, like, we know that there's a school district, obviously. So we need to have that conversation. We know that there's a DMO, so we have to have that conversation just to make sure that we're all aligned in terms of priorities, in terms of just awareness of each other's existence. And that's really kind of where we are right now, is finding each other, making sure that everybody, that there's no surprises in terms of the efforts that are going on. But really for us, there's only one that we care about measuring.
Yeah, but the tone I understood last month was that we weren't really interested in the creative arts district. So something's changed in a month.
So don't mistake my tone for the official tone of the Arts Commission, right? My tone is not convinced, but we also work for the mayor, and you know, we serve at her discretion. And she is interested in having a thorough investigation done into the feasibility.
I understood, and I don't work for the mayor, I'm a volunteer. I think we're vetting it, yeah? We're still vetting that this is, because there was some discussion about like.
That is my position, yeah.
Yeah, that some communities have gone through all of this work and have seen very little benefit to it and would have probably changed their minds.
Yes, I agree, Donna. I think that, yes, I agree. And I think we have to vet that information and help when we make a decision, it has to be an informed decision about that. And so I think that knowledge is kind of out there, you know, and
it was sounding like, oh no, this is what's happening and we're doing that. We have to put some committees together and get a volunteer.
Sorry, no.
So that's why I was like,
no, I'm glad you
a
clarified
month ago, it was like, kind of like we heard her, but then we had a real pretty good conversation that there was some real cons here that we really needed to kind of flesh out, that make sure that this was even something we wanted to do.
But like, as you stated last month, the in our after meeting that we needed to have data, right? And that's,
yeah, you always have.
That's really what I've been doing over the last month, is gathering data, right? So that's how you end up with standard operational or occupational codes and stuff on spreadsheets.
Donna, the other thing that happened is the EDC meeting, there was some energy and there was some enthusiasm, and I mean, I do work for the mayor, and so, I mean, I haven't been dictated it, but there was an enthusiasm and energy by the EDC, and there's some enthusiasm and energy by some city folk. I am still, what's the word? I'm still in the gathering stage. I don't want to jump too quickly into the deep end. I want to have all my facts. So
that's kind of how I operate. Is like,
yeah,
I like to vet something out thoroughly, because especially I have concerns about other communities having gone through this process, going through and then finding there's little to no benefit. And really the motivational factor from what we discussed last month was that there is some funding you get, but it's not a huge, like, woo, your windfall in funding.
Yeah, no, it's
you're like 10K.
it's a net loss. It's a net loss.
And it was for like expenses in the beginning, you know, it's not even, it can't even use it for the events. It's for, isn't that what it was? I can't remember.
Well, I mean, yeah, so you're on the hook for 25% of what the signage is gonna cost, right? You're you know, and plus, you know, like standard, you know, I'm sure you do this as well, Donna, like you're gonna take each head count involved in working on it is you're gonna have a percentage of a head, and
I'll
that's
put a burden rate on it.
You know, so we're gonna be at 6 digits before we even blink, and
yeah, because I mean, people don't work for free except as volunteers. But I mean, you put a burden rate down on it. Yeah, I mean, I thank you. I was just clarifying like what was the position, because it kind of sounded like, oh yeah, it's go, we're doing this, and I was like, wait a minute, just 30 days ago it was a little bit like, we're not sure.
Yeah, no, it's still this is just what gathering the data looks like. Yeah.
Gotcha.
I'm glad you clarified that. So, and I'm not trying to be negative about it at all. I'm just still gathering, and
yeah, I have no opinion one way or another.
Yeah, and I mean, I actually was happy that applications were closed because it gives us some more breathing room and some time, you know?
And to be clear, the framework of the Creative Arts District is a great framework. The framework, the things that you need to do to apply for it are worth the energy to look at and talk about what we should adopt, whether or not we end up wanting to do a Creative Arts District. Same thing with the Main Street projects, right? They have
Right.
really good how-to guides on generating this type of tourism or generating this kind of business or energizing or getting grants for these kinds of buildings. There's all these different things that are out there. There's nothing in the Creative Arts District that you can't get from just being an entity in general, right? So it's a good framework, it's a good package, and so I don't think that it's wasted effort at any level, but there's, you know, we'll see what, if we want the full meal deal or if we just want to kind of order a la carte.
And the Main Street one, what kind of benefits does a community receive if they were to get that accreditation?
There's a lot of similarities, but it is very much driven, that is a merchant focus.
More of a Chamber of Commerce kind of.
Yeah, it's closer to the Chamber
I
of
mean, you have
Commerce,
to
but
have
yeah.
a staff person, you have to have office
Yeah.
space and that endeavor is, and there's grants available,
North Bend is doing it currently, like they have a full-time person, and so we're able to learn in real time on how that's going, so.
No, I just meant from the accreditation, like, is there one that provides more impact to the community? If you were looking at Main Street, Creative Arts District, maybe there's another one.
I
you know,
think from
And
a.
going,
from
like,
a
this one is a
visitor's-
better investment from, you know, other communities that have done it, grants that you have available to you and so on, with
But-
time and money than doing all three or doing this one.
But they're kind of apples and oranges, right?
Right, but that's why you have to
we're only-
evaluate
we're-
it.
We're only involved in one of the three. Right? Merchants are doing Main Street, that's their thing. Chamber of Commerce is doing the DMO, that's their thing. And so the idea right now is to make sure that we're all aware of each other and in sync. So that, you know, if there is any hope for synergy, that we're taking advantage of it, and nobody's hearing about efforts being done, you know, without other people's knowledge. But there's no one entity that would be looking at the three and deciding which ones live and which ones die. That's not, that they're all three going forward. So the question is how can we get the most energy out of that? And our part of it is the Creative Arts District. We'll see if it's worth pursuing. So then the rest of it can go as it will. That's not for us to worry about. Ultimately, all of these things are for Nicole to worry about because Nicole has a very full plate, but within the Arts Commission, we only have the one.
Yeah.
to take care of.
Exactly, and I would say that the creative district is probably the one, an impact on the city. Is the least financial impact on the city, the creative district, but like for the visitor is more, maybe enriching, right, and you know it. The Main Street is, it'll be a lot of money, and where does that funding come from? You know, does the city there's that element. This isn't really a funding situation. There's like some costs, but yeah, it's just kind of an interesting time that they're all happening at the same time, and yeah, again, just measuring, I'm just trying to manage expectations. It's not that Nicole is saying I'm too busy, I don't want to do this. I just don't want to see
Well,
a bunch of people doing a bunch of work and doing stuff. Like, I just want us to
That's
be
where-
careful and take our time.
yeah, and that's where I kind of disagree with you, Steve. If I look at the city as an organization, if I was to kind of it, and it sort of is, you know, you've got a community and so on, and you are going to lose enthusiasm if you have too many of the same thing happening at the same time. That's just going to be the fact of the nature. So, you know, if you've got 3 kind of accreditations going on at the same time and you need enthusiasm from similar groups, it's not gonna, that you're gonna get burnout, kind of. Your enthusiasm will burn out. Granted, yeah, the Creative Arts District would be owned by the Arts Commission, and that would be our baby to drive through and so on, but you're still going to need the enthusiasm of your merchants, and you're still going to need the community, and you're still going to, and they're already taking their emotion into another place. That's just human nature. That's how it works. That's why I kind of go, is it an investment we want to spend? And it's just human capital, human emotion, and all of that. Nicole, you are only one man army. But it's something to think about. It's like, is it staged out? Like, invest our time, energy, emotion, and passion towards this one, and then we say Creative Arts District would be scheduled 2026, get this done. And that's why I'm just asking these questions, because it
I mean,
seems
the only way we can influence, the only way we can influence it in that regard then is to move the fastest or the slowest.
right. Essentially,
We don't have a say in the other 2 things, right? The city doesn't have a say in the other 2 things, so. You know, so
you just need to find out where the other 2 things are, and then go, okay, well, we want to do this too. Is there enough energy here to input and add value to creating our pathway towards a Creative Arts District? And there may be like, no, we don't have the time for it, but we can after we're done with our accreditation. I don't know the answers to this. I don't know. I don't even know if it's worth pursuing. She did a very, very nice presentation, but there was some flags in them.
Different.
Yeah, for sure.
Entity of who will be involved
Mhm.
and see how their enthusiasm, like their energy is,
Mhm.
and then maybe we can decide it if we wanna, move forward, or maybe we need more meeting instead of just say no, I know, because
Yeah,
it's a potential, I mean, I don't know, yeah.
yes, I agree. I agree. And I think that at some point, we call those courageous conversations. At some point, someone has to have the courageous conversation to say, hey, we are aware of some communities that have done this and they're not sure that this was for them. Like, we have to put all the facts out on the table
Yeah.
and let
Yeah,
everybody
or
know.
the
And they may, and people still may wanna, move forward.
Yeah. It might be a nice little feather in somebody's cap. Like, hey, I got this.
Mhm,
And,
mhm,
you know,
Yeah, so I'll report back next month, and I don't know how far we
Yeah.
can get on.
well,
gathering.
I appreciate you going to the meeting and looking into it, and thank you for bringing the info back. I appreciate you clarifying, because I just wasn't sure. But I'm not for or against either one, because I don't know enough to have a real strong
Yeah,
opinion.
my nature is to start against until somebody talks me into it.
My nature is not to have an opinion.
I don't wanna be enthusiastic and then have it.
be disappointed.
Yeah, so why just cause I get, enthusiasm creates blinders, right? Yeah, you have to be
Yeah,
analytical.
but so does also being, I'm a no until you tell me yes. That can also have blinders. I tend to be.
And I will live with
right in the
those,
middle.
Donna. I will forever embrace my blinders from the negative side. All right, any other questions around the? Creative
No,
Arts District?
thank you.
Good. All right,
The
library.
yes, so we, Nicole and me, the librarians, she is in charge of the teen and adult activities. So I try to be more of a coordinating person to, so we will have the event host in library, and they have the they call it a graphic team. They will make the advertise for us. And then my job is to find instructors of either arts or craft or whatever, and then to talk to the price. And I hope this can be qualified for the full cultural grant.
Yeah,
Then we don't have to get the budget from the city and we can still have
yeah,
money.
and
to
that is a
support the
yes,
class.
that's a possibility as well, although we still have the budget too,
You
so.
do, okay,
Yeah.
so that's great. And so, so they asked the question, about how the city and commissions and,
Was that in the email from Jen?
yeah.
I'm so sorry, I know, I need to get caught up with my inbox, I will get
So
to that.
we, because the library has a lot of events, so we plan on doing the first class in September. Sometime in September, probably on Saturday. I know library is not open on Sunday, so we would do on Saturday. And we thinking, my first approach is, the population wise, I wanna, do the one that last care in the community, because like a library always had a thing for the younger kids, you know, like the reading club and all the stuff, but they don't have much for the senior. So the first class I was more into senior citizen, 55 and up, and then and maybe probably 20 to 30, depends on how we still on the negotiation with the library and try to set up. So it still have, 6 months, and they say I was hoping that I can squeeze another class, maybe in November for like making a holiday card for teen.
Oh,
And
neat.
so I think that will be fun, and it's not like a lot of money. And if we wanna, if we have budget like on a grant, maybe I can go ahead and purchase some like art kits. So we will have something there. Then we just have to pay the instructor fees. And we can also negotiate because if they charge a lot, I can say, well, we advertise for you, maybe you can do it for us for free, or maybe some fees involved, whatever I talk to, and then we also talk about possibility of doing a survey and to see what's the interest in the community. Because I know we have, like Nicole said, we have lots of community, the activity all center in downtown, but we have population, like 85% population in Snoqualmie Ridge. And so we want to kind of do something there too. So maybe if library can do it, I may talk to YMCA or someplace that we can host this event. So maybe quarterly instead of just, twice a year. Yeah, so it's just in plenty progress. So yes.
A question, and maybe it's maybe not for this year because it's too early, but I would love to coordinate like some kind of art painting event with the plein air event. Like whether it's on the Friday before the actual plein air event, because it's always on a Saturday, to have it be like a, something for kids on the Friday to teach them how to paint, and then we could have the plein air event on Saturday. But I mean,
Wouldn't
wouldn't that be kind of fun though, to have it together and then have a coordinated effort to advertise it?
The thing too is, it's all timing sometimes, like.
Yeah.
When I came to this community, I signed an agreement with the library. I'm just a library nerd. It's one of my first memories of a childhood is going to the library and getting my little Peter the Rabbit books. And so my library card from my childhood, but the day before Eugene and I met with them, the mayor and I met. And so the library is they're such a good partner in our community, but they're aware of what we're aware. And that is that there's not enough programming for adults and there's not any programming for teenagers. And how do we partner and do all that? And then the next day we followed up, and it was a great meeting. And there had been a class that you had attended before that had been successful. So it's been done. It's a model that's been done. And we also thought something we talked about is doing something internal or inside in the shoulder seasons. This kind of fits that
Yeah.
bill.
Shoulder season.
And they
yeah,
need, was it 2 months or 3 months for the graphic design?
6 weeks.
6 weeks. So meeting with them was good. September is a good time for us to do something. The fees, I'm not concerned about. The library has a bit of a budget as well. I think it's a great start for us to start to do some classes with those populations of people that maybe are kind of neglected.
It's free class, and
Yeah.
so But my hope is that we can have. We can give it to more people because the library can only host 20 to 30, so. And so we can we don't do it too often, but we do it once a while, so that's.
The quarterly is not a bad idea.
A quarterly, so maybe we can do,
And you're thinking about
Twice.
rotating through like
not.
painting versus like a bunch of different types of crafts or?
I know a lot of artists, so I can ask the people that I know to be instructor, but I don't know like sewing, sorry. I don't know people that sewing or crochet.
Well, right, but that's what I'm saying is that because we do, like, we have contacts, like, so if there's other things that you'd like to do.
Yeah, I mean,
You sign painting for
that's why I want the community,
Candle making.
the library had the survey. They can hang out and then people can say what kind of class they're most interested, and we can.
Sure.
Get the data, like you collecting the data, and we can collect data too and see that we can plan ahead. And I think maybe we don't do in spring and summertime, that but we can do 2 classes in fall and 2 classes in winter. And it's like raining and cold
Yeah.
winter, I mean.
I have a really strong association with, as you get into the holidays, doing like, felt ornaments or, you know, we used to do, foam ball ornaments and that, I've got.
I love candle making.
Candle making is a great one,
Like,
But
I
we need
mean,
to have
who doesn't,
somebody-
glass
people will
blowing. for the
use
kids.
them.
Yeah.
Well, I think if you start with the September and then also get a November and then we work through the kinks of trying to work with them, then you can have your goal for 2025.
Yeah.
So.
And North Bend Arts and Industries have been putting on a lot of like classes and stuff. I know Deb has a whole slew, like every time I have a meeting over in North Bend, we run into somebody who's like, oh my God, I took your class on this and that.
And that's one of the resources I can get is that I know that they have a contract with the city. I don't know what kind of thing they involve, but we can also ask them for.
But even if they can just give us pointers towards like these are some people that are interested in being signed up as artists or whatever, you know, because I think it would be great to do candle making, soap making, again, like just anything that's getting people out there with their hands. I mean, you did this last year at Christmas, for the tree lighting, there was cookie decorating, and we had cookies and icing of a few different colors and incredibly artistic efforts from some of those kids. Also, some very sloppy, mostly handfuls of icing efforts, but lots of you know, and yeah, there's all sorts of ways to signal that. So just, make a list, make a wish list.
And then
we'll see
also
what
we
come
can
up
talk to one state or other organization, they have a bigger space. And maybe they wanna host the event like cooking that the library can, it's too small, so we have to find different space for that. But I think we kind of rolling and getting started, and I'm getting excited, and I'm still have to talk to the people. And so that's all.
Yeah, no, that's fantastic.
I love it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right.
I think
Any
it's
other questions around the library classes? Cool, what was the word? you-
Other business.
Any other business?
Yeah, I had something that I realized, the homeowners association on the Ridge had done something, they did a open mic at Saints and Scholars a couple months ago, very popular. And they had said to me, what if we did an open mic at both or one of the movies, or not the music, well, it could be the movies, but we're thinking the music in the park, and it's something that I could pursue with the ROA, fine, but I didn't know what you guys thought about that, or if that was something that you guys thought could also be an Arts Commission element. These things make me nervous, just because I'm always like, if you build it, will they come? Like, you have an open night, is someone gonna be there? I'd be just so fearful. But the ROA said that it was very popular, so I thought that could be.
This was like music, like Black Dog
anything.
Wednesdays?
It was
or-
like anything, got up, somebody sang, somebody read a poem, like open
Oh.
mic, like go
Full
for it.
on, nice.
Full on, and I know Donna, you had talked about that, so I just
Mhm.
wondered maybe your thoughts about that.
I
Open
thought
mic,
it would be interesting. I went to my daughter's, she's in high school, so she has this, this kind of like American Idol, like
Mm.
the things, and they.
Oh, Wildcat Idol,
Wildcat.
yeah, right, wasn't it?
And it was,
Something like that. They
the
had some-
kids love stuff. And so you can kind of make it something like this, Wildcats, but you can be people going out and reading a poetry of their own thing.
Yeah.
Or maybe somebody likes to sing, they can sing, play
Yeah,
instrument.
so what are you thinking, like, are,
I don't
do you
know
want us
what-
to just help, like,
I don't know what I'm thinking, I just was like.
does it exist and you want us to help grow it, or do you want us to?
I guess I
make
just
more of
thought, what
them?
was your temperature on it, you know, like.
Hot, baby, like, let's do it. Hot mics are the best, let's go.
To be an arts commission thing, cause I'm gonna be there anyhow, and if it was an ROA thing too, but it could be all of it, but it just, oh my gosh, it just makes me nervous, cause I'm not the kind of person to get up and do that kind of stuff, but some people are.
We need
so.
someone to be the host, like.
Yeah,
Get the
an
thing
MC,
going.
yeah, Donna?
What makes me nervous is what will get up there and what will
Yes,
they say.
Yes.
That's what makes.
Yeah,
me
yeah,
nervous.
and that's, and there's
Not
always that,
exactly
yeah.
like-
As soon as we put our name on it, somebody's gonna go up
Looks
there and
like
start.
Somebody's gonna go up there
Cringe
and
factor.
Start
kind of
reading banned books or
diatribe about
something.
Okay, so we don't have to do it the arts commission, we can just, I don't know, I just,
I think it's, I think that there's benefit though, like, we can help push things, we can help,
Yeah.
you know, get the word out and stuff.
you
We're
guys
trying-
give me my plants in the
we-
audience,
we
and
need
no
to be
one's
able to-
signing up, Donna can get up and read poetry, or Steve can go up and play the instrument that you play, you know, solo.
I mean, I am, that's literally the only thing I'm trained to do, so I'm happy to do that,
Okay.
but,
Yeah.
no, I think, cause it's just great, it's great to get people out there and be
There
creative.
was one more thing, so, I don't know if we ever do like, some sort of arts, Jewish show in the city.
A juried show?
Mm-hmm.
They do for plein air, that's, or is that not considered juried?
That is considered, but I saw when I was looking around like a show. And I saw the like Federal Way has, their city has the this called the student jury show. Or some sort of thing that they do to, so this is some idea that come to me, it's not mature, it's not, but I thinking that if we are not doing plein air for the junior, because it is kind of hard and difficult, it is difficult even for adult to go out and paint. You don't have like a state, but if we do like a student jury show and we give them like 2 months to do stuff and they can submit it to like somebody in our community and we can vote and then we can use the city hall to have.
Well, you
their-
still
their
can combo
arts.
what you're saying and what Donna was saying about the junior plein air, like, it doesn't have to be partnered with the library, like, we could use that space out there just as, and you could do something with, on the Friday night junior to kind of build the program.
No, when I say Jewish show means like, we probably have to have them submitted to like, have a kind of like submit to you or someone.
Oh,
And then we will,
Sorry, I'm not an
we will
artist.
look at their work, but we'll have some requirement, like if they got select to the show, they will have to frame their work and they will have to, certain day would bring it into the, somewhere somebody have to receive and we can hand their work and have receptions. So it's more a city, the whole city, but it's more emphasized, it's kind of focused on students, like, you know, the K to 12, the students instead of adult. And I don't know, I mean, it's idea, I don't know if that's what would replace with the plein air, because plein air for a student, I think I have a challenge level and it's probably not easy to do. But for student jury show, they can.
Yeah, those
They
are kind
can-
of, those are kind of separate mechanisms, right? Cause plein air is very much come in, get your cannabis stamps to that day, you have a certain set time amount of time. You're saying like more of a, like, here's a 2-month window, we're gonna be accepting things.
Yeah,
People
they
are
can
gonna go
submit, and then we can as a community,
Do we
look
have-
at that, and then we can say, oh, we will take 50 pieces or maybe 40 pieces of student, and then we can hang out the award like top.
Have we had a conversation with the district or at least the high school? I mean, do we know anybody to talk to about what exists now? Like, is there an arts department at the high school doing this sort of thing? I just wanna make sure we're not stomping on any.
Well, there is a district program state that I'm pretty sure Snoqualmie Valley participates in, and I knew it like Washington School District called Reflections. Are you aware of that?
Yes.
So every year there's a theme and then they have different categories, dance, art, sculpture, paint, and then K through 12 can submit and then it gets juried and it goes to the state of
Yeah, but
Washington.
for this, the idea come to me is because I saw the federal way they're doing this. And then they create like a theme and then the student can submit for free, but adult have to pay money like $25 for one piece. And so I thought maybe we can try to do this, just send out an email, say, hey, we are doing this, you know, and then you will submit to Nicole and then you get all the information and we can look at it and say, oh, I like this, and then we will send in an email, say, hey, you will please accept. And then we can email the parents, say, oh, yeah, congratulations, your students or they accept, and we will have a day. Then have an open reception and we can have the students work in our city hall. So it's just an idea. I
Right.
mean, we have to
I feel
work
like
together.
maybe that would be like a 2025 goal, like maybe flesh it out. Okay.
Yeah, something like that. So I don't know if you guys like this idea. I mean,
Yeah, so I think like
instead of
sit down and kind of write out your complete thoughts and kind of give us an idea, cause I think that I like in having that as a drive-by conversation at the end of a meeting is not a great, like.
Yeah, it's
Cause
just.
the image I have in my mind and the image she has in her mind, they may not all be the same, like I think, but so kind of lay out what you think the plan should be and send us an email and let's talk about what and when, because again, you guys, my first two instinctive concerns are, one, we wanna make sure that we're not stomping on something that already exists, right?
Yes.
And two, I'm still a big proponent, even though it's not popular anymore, of the participation ribbons, right? Like, I don't like to tell people that they didn't do a good job on their art, right? I want it to be very inclusive and everybody feels supported and included, whether or not they win, they still get to participate, you know? So we wanna make sure that we would set something up like that is encouraging for everybody, right? But yeah, but let's do it, let's.
Yeah,
let's
I
look
can
into it.
start out nice and then people can still give in ideas in that, how
Yeah.
we're gonna proceed on this, but it's just an idea.
No, it's good, it's a good idea.
Thank you.
Actually, I have one more too, Steve,
Okay.
sorry. My brain is like thinking about all things last week. And this is a capacity thing for me, but so the pole banners are something that the Arts Commission has been participatory in throughout the years. And I'm getting to a point where I need, and I run that program now, and I'm getting to a point where I need, so right now we've got, like right now, it's some quotes that was done by the Arts Commission. They did that in 2019, 2020. We have the plein air, we have some Burhan ones. And then I've got the Snoqualmie winter lights, but I have to change up the inventory frequently because they get damaged. So one of the things I'm considering is doing a call for artists for digital artwork, maybe giving it a theme, seeing what we get, you guys voting, and then we would pick 4, if we got 4, hopefully pick 4 that would then be up on the pole banners, but I don't know, again, what you're.
Yeah, it's been 4 years.
Were you on the commission when they did the quotes and stuff, Donna?
Yeah. It was right before COVID, cause
Yeah.
I remember,
Right when I joined.
yeah, it's been 4 years
Yeah.
since, so these banners are 4 years old.
That's kind of impressive, because being in Snoqualmie, that's.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
like a
and the
meeting.
plein air ones, Dylan took some of the artwork of past ones and just did some, but we could come up with a theme, like give us your best elk, or give us, rivers or railroads. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's,
When you said 4,
usually we get 4 different ones.
Yeah.
so one set
One
of 4
set
different
of
images
4,
that are.
yeah.
4 different images, yeah.
Yeah, but I wonder what your guys' thoughts, Dylan and I were just having a conversation about last week, Dylan's a former Arts Commission liaison, just because I'm like, I gotta do this, I gotta get
Yeah,
us
because
banners.
And last time we did it, the theme was community quotes. So if you and then we found images
Mhm.
that went with the quote. So it was kind of the opposite of what you're saying. You do your call to images. We actually had quotes, and then it was, remember the whole conversation over salmons versus elk? Because
Yes,
at
I
first
do.
we had salmon. We're like, salmon's not native to the valley.
No,
Let's
that's what
get
I
the
was
elk
saying,
on
yeah.
there, you know. So
Yeah.
which was kind of a much better one. So I mean, I think we kind of need to noodle a little bit on different theme ideas. If we can make that our takeaway from this meeting is like
Yeah.
banner theme ideas, and then we can just all throw out some ideas, select an idea, and then
Yeah, and you should, so we should figure out a way for you to communicate with us that we're not gonna violate any meeting rules. Like if you wanted, maybe, I mean, that's dark, but maybe you could BCC the Arts Commission and say, hey, let me know. You know, this is what we're looking for, here's some structures, you know, send me some ideas, but then that way we're not. There's not the threat of a reply all.
Yeah, I think that's it.
So I think we're all fine with
I
helping
think
out.
we just kind of exhausted to a degree the plein air inventory that we have. It's all good, but maybe just something a little fresh, like what's out there, so.
I mean, I like the quotes. The quotes were really, that was kind of fun.
And those are still in good shape, you know, I can keep using those, so.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then I thought, well, maybe we'll have a bunch of plein air contestants if from the plein air this year, I don't know.
Well, we probably, I mean, if it's been 4 years, we've probably,
I meant this year's plein air, like
yeah,
maybe.
but we probably had some winners since the
Mm,
banners were last done, you know what I mean?
yeah,
But,
we did put some of those in there, in the plein air one, so, okay. Maybe we'll add that to the next agenda, or I'll send an email,
Yeah.
okay?
yeah. Yeah, if there's, because we definitely, we wanna, yeah, obviously, we wanna avoid too much brainstorming in the meeting time. But but if you've got things like that where you want us to doodle on stuff, just you can put it in our inboxes.
Cool,
Any other?
I'll shut up now, I think that's.
Do you have to be at the meeting at 7 or, yeah?
No.
All right, if there's not seeing any new items, if I would entertain a motion to close.
Can you entertain?
I can entertain, that's what,
You can ask for a motion to adjourn and then.
that's what, I'm entertaining a motion to like, if somebody would like to make a motion to adjourn.
Okay,
Oh, yeah, I second that.
Cool.
okay, 6:46.
Any opposed? No, alright. We can be pretty relaxed with.
It would only be you who would oppose.
Yeah, yes. No, I'm staying.
Let's stay here, yeah.
I'm gonna make you all stay.
I've got this beautiful, clean piece of art.
Yeah.
That's
Cool.
funny.
All right, thank you, everybody.
All right,
Bye,
let's
Donna.
have a good night.